What's up, Sagittarius? This is Soul from Intuitive Tarot, here to look at your week ahead starting November 10th, 2025. Sagittarius, I hope all is well. Welcome any new subscribers to the channel. I appreciate you. The decks I am using will be listed in the description box. Not reading any reversals, just going to cleanse the energies here from doing Scorpio's messages for the weekend. We're about to see what is in store for Sagittarius. Please give me all the messages here for Sagittarius. What's up for Sagittarius? What can Sagittarius expect this week? Energies for my Saggies. All right, let's cut this deck, set it aside, grab the other one. It's basically just the Oracle deck that I used last week. I sort of like using this deck for these readings right now. Let me switch it up later on. But give me all the Oracle messages here for Sagittarius for this week. All right, here we go. All right, from the main deck, Sagittarius, we're going to start off with the first card for you. We got the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords here is about having to, be responsible in terms of taking charge of any actions or decisions that you're about to undergo this week. Whether or not, Sagittarius, those actions or decisions are related to anything from your recent past, okay? Using your analytical mind, of course, not allowing any emotions to interfere with any types of movement or decisions that you have to do this week. Knight of Swords, okay? Oracle message on top of the Knight of Swords, we have Free Spirit. Well, there you go. This is you. This card here, when I've drawn in the past, and even though it doesn't say Sagittarius, we all know that you guys are free-spirited, right? And if you read the words, it fits you, at least the Sagittarians that I know. And this is a person who thinks and acts in an uninhibited way without worry about normal social rules, nonconformist, follows the soul. Wouldn't that be you? Look at the fiery orange hair there. That's you. All right, next Oracle message. This is what I'm doing differently here. Now we have Capricorn. So last week, if you've received any astrological signs, this deck has those signs in it, and it just reads, has the good traits and the bad traits of the signs. But also, too, because I've drawn it, it could be that you have Capricorn, and somewhere in your birth chart, it could be that you are, dating a Capricorn. You got a family member that's a Capricorn. You could have friends that are Capricorn. So the good traits of Capricorns is they're hardworking, hardworking nature, practical, reliable leaders. Yeah, the reliable leaders, wise and methodical. The bad traits of Capricorn is that they could become ruthless, cold, hold grudges, status-seeking, anxious, and pessimistic. Compatible signs to Capricorn would be Taurus, Virgo, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Next tarot message for you is the Major Arcana of the World. Okay, so you have the Major Arcana of the World here. So there is a chapter. Some chapter is ending in your life, Sagittarius. A new chapter is about to begin. When I talk about the World card, the world is round. Allegedly is round, so the world is continuously evolving. So just think of constant change. Okay, so otherwise this is a very powerful card to receive because it still would represent opportunities that could be coming your way. Okay, and then also too, it represents all relationships. So be on the lookout for anything opportunistic this week, Sagittarius. Now we have another Now we have another Oracle message, okay? This is Aries. So now you may have Aries in your chart. You may be dating an Aries. You may have a family member that's an Aries. Could have coworkers that are Aries. Good traits. These people are usually confident, energetic, independent. They're risk takers, strong-willed. And the bad traits of Aries is aggressive. They can be aggressive. They can be bullies. They can be rude. Antagonists. Can be selfish, very impulsive, and also pushy. Compatible signs, well, of course, is Sagittarius, Leo, Gemini, Libra, as well as Aquarius. All right, so next oracle message on top of that is Gold Digger. This is a person who seeks a relationship with someone who is rich to get expensive things. This person is a parasite. They're a leech, a sponge, exploiter, and self-server. Do you know anybody like that, Sagittarius? All right. Next message up for you is the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands means that you'll have energy to complete any and all tasks that you have either lined up or that come up along the way. Okay, that's usually what this Ten of Wands means to me. One of my busy bees that you'll just be doing things, could be a little extra, could be just working, at your job. Could be doing things for yourself, family members, could be anything involving romantic partnerships, but just having the energy to take care of that. That's also an indication that this could be a very busy week for you guys in some aspect, all right? All right, on top of that, oracally, we have broke. Okay, this one says a person who has very little or no funds, penniless, they're bankrupt, destitute, impoverished, insolvent, they're poor, needy, poverty-stricken. Well, I hope that's not the case, but it's here. Maybe it's somebody that you know. I think this time, with everything going on, with the government and the budget not being passed and prices are going up, people are really taking a hit. And I just think that the Supreme Court just knocked down, I guess, Trump's order to stop SNAP benefits. I mean, you just have a program in place, whether you agree with the program or not. You have people who depend on that, and then all of a sudden you snatch it from them. All hell could be breaking loose, but you never know. Anyway, next oracle message here for you, Sagittarius, is Alchemist. And this one is similar to that of the Major Arcana, the Magician, to me. Turn lemons into lemonade, looks at challenges as potential growth and transformation. There's the word magician and conjurer. Alchemist. Up next now we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is all about celebrating, right? We have the three beautiful females there celebrating. They could be family members. They could be co-workers. They could be friends, celebrating someone's birthday, someone's anniversary, or just, spending, quality time with each other. That would be the Three of Cups. So there's a reason to be happy and joyous this week, Sagittarius, for some reason. All right. So the next oracle message that's going to land on top of that Three of Cups, the Wealth card, I feel that since I've been using this deck, is very, very powerful in terms of generation, what could be generated, when the Wealth card. It's almost like the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so but now we have the Wealth card for you, and it says an abundance of valuable possessions or money, prosperity, affluence, luxury, plenty. This would represent deep pockets, fortune, and reserve. So this also could turn out to be like I said before, like the Wheel of Fortune, turn out to be a very lucky week for some Sagittarians that I'm reading for. Okay, whether or not it includes the aspects of the other energies here listed on the card, like a mansion, a car. Got the money bag. All right, so the next oracle message here for you is love. All right, so this Oracle message says an intense feeling of deep affection, fondness, intimacy, adoration, passion, desire, care, compassion, sympathy, yearning, and unselfishness. All right. So you got love in the air. Are you dealing with that aspect of energy of love? And again, it could be a romantic partner, it could be your family, it could be co-workers, could be friends. Up next, oh Lord, now we got another big money card here, the Ten of Pentacles, Sagittarius. So this is a card that represents abundance, could be an inheritance. Still would represent a large pay raise. It could be bonus money, could be a promotion. Yeah, if you're the risk-taking Sagittarius that likes to do the gambling, of course, play responsibly. This is an opportunity for big money. And whenever the Ten of Pentacles shows up in a reading, I've been saying that, and you have the wealth card here to possibly support this energy. Money just doesn't come from out of nowhere, right? It's going to come from somewhere. But whenever the Ten of Pentacles comes through, I always get a feeling that there's some sort of money that will come to you. It definitely has to be a known source, but it's going to something that comes to you, but maybe you weren't expecting it, if I can say that. So don't be too, just be on the lookout for that, because that's, usually what happens. And I think I had a commenter who had said the same, wrote in that when the Ten of Pentacles showed up for the reading, I don't remember what sign it was. She said, she received money from a source. I don't know what source that she named. I don't remember, but she did say that. Yep. But so every time I get this card here, money's coming in. All right. So we still would have the job offers, promotions, substantial bonus money, pay raises, could be inheritances. All right, so the Oracle message on top of that, Ten of Pentacles, is the Hag. Now, Sagittarius, I don't know if you received the Hag last week, but if you did, I have to go back and look at the video. At least there's some sort of consistency here, all right, if you received it last week, because there is an energy. This usually says a dark witch that causes suffering to others by preying on their downfall. They could be a siren, evil, sorcerer, sorceress, enchantress, or a wizard. All right. So again, these people, when the Hag shows up, is someone who is expressing some sort of dark energy around you. All right. Someone that still cannot be trusted. Someone who is not on the same page with you or in alignment with you, could be plotting against you. Now, I'm not saying to be paranoid or anything like that, but usually when people have dark energy and it's directed towards you, if you have contact with these individuals, you definitely, you don't even have to have a strong psychic ability or, intuition. You will feel that dark energy. Trust me. That something is quite not right with this individual. So, you always have to go with your instincts, right? This is why I always say, trust your instincts. They never mislead you. But anyway, there could be someone who is, plotting against you, or someone who is just not in your corner, or they just experience or express dark energy. Okay. So on top of that, we have investigator. This one here says someone actively seeking truth, knowledge, or understanding about deeper aspects in their own life or someone else's life. Next major, I'm sorry. When I draw from this deck here, Sagittarius, immediately you want to call them major arcana because I'm using the Oracle deck and it's, got me a little confused. Anyway, Knight of Wands, let's continue. Knight of Wands is usually the court card that comes in. Could be a family member. Of course, you are part of this energy here that comes along to assist you with any help that you may need. It could be a romantic partner, family member. Like I said before, it could be a friend. The presence of the Knight of Wands in your spread could also indicate of how fast a new relationship may take shape and form, and that could be romantic, definitely platonic, and it could be business as well, right? It's still the Knight of Wands in itself is intensive. Usually things are becoming intensified. The passion is building up and it's becoming, very intense. Like I said before, he's a court card, so he can express himself in a sexual manner. And usually, when it comes to that sexual stuff, it's usually that they hold no inhibitions. They're, open to almost anything and everything, so to speak. All right, so the oracle message on top of the Knight of Wands is party goer. This one is loves to party frequently, partier, pleasure seeker, club hopper, celebrant, debauchery, okay, socializer, party animal, reveler, okay. Now, if you guys aren't too familiar, that word debauchery is usually associated, believe it or not, with the Seven of Cups. Okay, remember the Seven of Cups presents many options, and debauchery means having multiple sexual partners or sexual affairs. All right, on top of party goer, we have strict. This one here says demanding that rules concerning behavior are obeyed and observed. This individual's energy is usually stern. They could be severe and harsh, firm, unbending, and definitely uncompromising. Yeah, it's not somebody I want to mess with. Anyway, next message up here for you is Nine of Cups. Look at that. Nine of Cups here, Sagittarius, in this case, means it's the wish fulfillment card. It's also the yes answer to any questions that you pose to yourself, right? Romantic questions that you ask of yourself. And then I equate the Nine of Cups with that of the major arcana of the stars. So you have, in addition, shadow-wise, you get all of the stars' energy. So, but first, let's talk about this Nine of Cups. It's always in the form of celebrations. Definitely not an even number of cups, but definitely the energy that you put out there this week is what you're going to get back in return. Okay. Nine of Cups also is in a group of cards where I said if you receive it in your spread, then you could already be receiving that type of energy from those that are near and dear. So onward with the star energy here, now you get all of that. So again, whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, praying for may manifest for you this week. Okay. Remember that the Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. But it's also the wishes and hopes and dreams involving the stars energy. You may be stargazing this week, dream journaling this week. You may be meeting someone famous this week. When it comes to your own psychic energy, Sagittarius, there may be some sort of development or expansion. Also, some sort of element of surprise or excitement could be occurring as well. That's all the stars' energy. Social media, social networking, can't forget that. And that could be any types of engagement. All right, so on top of the Nine of Cups, now we have educated. Educated just simply is teacher, schooled, skilled, trained, could be a tutor guide, informed, scholarly, learned, intellectual, talented, and knowledgeable. So you could be the Sagittarius that I'm reading for that's an educator, or Sagittarius that's, taking up some sort of education. Could be online classes, could be, attending classes at a physical institution, could be visiting the library, or you just could simply be an avid reader of books here. All right, the next one up is Two-Face. Again, Two-Face is someone that is hiding their true feelings, plans, and or is not being honest. This person's a backstabber, deceptive, fake, phony, a hypocrite, as well as a bigot. Now, remember you have the Hag here. Okay, so I said that whenever that card shows up here, that means that there's some sort of dark energy that may be surrounding you. And if you don't remember that song, Smiling in Your Face, but backstabbing you at the same time, that's the energy that I'm pulling here with these two cards here. So Even though you have a very positive read here, Sagittarius, please take note of what's going on here with the Oracle. And, and when I say take note, that don't focus all your energy onto that, because you do have some exceptional positive energies here. But I feel that the Two-Face card shows up here along with the Hag, just to validate that there could be somebody around you that is not to be trusted, or they're expressing or exemplifying some sort of dark energy. Okay. Now, it may not be towards you, but if this is your reading, so it's like these people are never in your favor, like I said, smiling in your face, but backstabbing you at the same time. So be careful. All right, so the last card that I have for you, Sagittarius, I want to keep saying Capricorn. Somebody dealing with a Capricorn? Oh my gosh, Two of Swords. Two of Swords is just feeling somewhat vulnerable when it comes to making a decision. There may be two things that you have to pick and choose from, but you have to narrow that choice down to one. This is my same-sex loving energy card, no matter what deck I'm using. And the most simplest thing that I, draw out of the Two of Swords is that you could be just out and about, Sagittarius, minding your own business. Could be just, driving to work or something like that. And there's some sort of detour, road construction, and you get rerouted to go another way. The Oracle card on top of the Two of Swords is compassion. This one says someone who feels sympathy and concern for others, wants to help them, very kind, considerate, and they're non-judgmental attitude, okay? Next message up here for you, Sagittarius, is ancestors. Ancestors is a person from whom someone is descended or a predecessor in a family line, connecting with deceased relatives, merit of the ancestors. Always remember your ancestors, all right? Now, because this deck, I'm sort of like getting familiar with this deck, and sort of like tuning my own energies. When the ancestor card shows up here, it could be that there's some spiritual energy here involving Sagittarius. I don't know if, and I'm not talking about ghost stories or anything like that. I feel that if the ancestors could be that the ancestors are trying to communicate with you. And if that's the case, allow yourself to be open, not afraid, but just allow yourself to be open. And in order to get communication from your ancestors, you have to be in a quiet place where you're sitting still. It's very hard, or at least it is for me, to, clear my mind completely. I always have a running type of energy, but if you can just have a moment to yourself and listen, if you can just stay still, be still, there may be a message that may be trying to come to you, okay? And I feel that the ancestors are definitely trying to communicate with Sagittarius. All right, so this is what I have for you this week, Sagittarius. Keep in mind, it's just me interpreting these messages here for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by the way, just take what you want to need or use and leave the rest alone. Have a safe, great week ahead. Always come back here to get more of these messages from me, Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you real soon. Ciao.